Hi, welcome to this second short video clip on youth media. In this video, I just want to give you a guide to the resources that you will need and that you'll be using in this unit. So I suppose the first thing here is what I've tried to do is load up all of the material that you will need on the front page here of the unit. So here you have your unit guide. You can access it here, but you can also access the unit guide here. The important thing about the unit guide is that it contains all of the information that you need to know about the learning outcomes, most importantly about the assessment. I'm going to be doing a separate video explaining the assessment later on. All of your learning resources, unit and the things that you're going to need. And very importantly, policies. You should know about assessment policies, particularly regulations around late submission and that type of thing. But you can go through that at your own leisure. The other thing that I wanted to show you was a series of resources that you're going to need to get started. So one of the things that you will notice in the unit guide is the assessment items. Now, to access the assessment items, all you need to do is click on this tab here. You will see that there are 3 assessment items for this unit, SA1, SA2 and a final exam. And I'm going to be explaining those a little bit later, but this is where you hand them in via Moodle. Okay, so here we have the assessment questions, and this would be where you're going to submit your assessment. It will show you the due date, and again, you need to submit this online. Now let's have a look at some of the other resources that we have. A couple of things. In terms of the key readings for the unit, 2 things. First, we have my book. Which is this book right here. So you can either buy it from the bookshop or it's available on Kindle. There are copies available for the library. And this is the set reading for the unit. However, there are other essential readings that we're going to be using, and you can find these right here. So if you click on this tab here, this takes you to the reading list for the unit. So for example, each week what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be introducing you to a research topic on young people and media. But also I'm going to be extending some of the ideas in the book by mentioning other resources. So for example, next week when we talk about celebrity, we're going to be talking a little bit about the show Geordie Shore that some of you may have seen. I found an article written about that. So all you do is you go to this list, you click on the online resource, and there's your reading. And you will see that you can, if you wish, you can download this as a PDF. I recommend doing this because it makes it easier to read and keep notes. One of the things that we're going to be doing a lot is showing you how to keep notes electronically on key readings and really how to how to read these resources critically. So this is going to be an important resource for you. One of the things you will see is that each one of these weeks is tied particularly to one of the assessments. So, for example, if you're going to be doing an assessment on media and risk, which is one of the assessment items that I'll talk about in another video, you really must read, for example, this article right here, the Barrick interviews, which will tell you, again, you can download it by download the PDF. This tells you everything you need to know about media effects research. So what we've got are a series of online resources that are relevant to particular assessments, and they're all there electronically for you to access, read online, or download as PDFs. Now, some other resources associated with the unit. One of the things I'm going to ask you to do is to download a software program called Nvivo. This is free student software which you can download and is invaluable for two things. Firstly, we're going to be teaching you how to use it to do literature reviews. And the second thing is we're going to be using it to show you how to do data analysis. So what this will mean is that you will need to download this before the third week, at the very latest, if not before the class starts. All you need to do is go here, click on this to install Nvivo. And then enter a code, which I will give you in an email. I'll email you all the code that you can use to download that. There's a couple of other resources which might be helpful in getting you started about thinking about the sorts of things you might want to research. One I've mentioned in the other video, James Shanahan's flip page. This is a collection of news stories mostly about the negative impacts of media, particularly lots of stuff around young people and gaming and social media. So if you're interested in researching how the media cover media influence and many of the topics, and one of the things we're going to be doing is kind of looking at how society talks about media influence and then trying to see how we can make the conversation more sophisticated by including some media theory. So in terms of some case studies for the research that you're going to be doing in the unit, this is a really useful guide. And of course, the other thing that's really interesting here is that it isn't just stories about how media do terrible things to people. There are also stories here which cover the research that others are doing, which question the extent to which exposure to things like media violence actually cause violent media. So this guy down here, this guy's name is Chris Ferguson. And he argues that the argument that media violence causes the real thing is basically politically motivated. There's very little evidence to show that. So the point I'm trying to make is this is a really great resource for trying to get at issues of, finding case studies on young people and social media.